Hey guys, I've been getting some questions on how to hook up a car amp in your house with a power supply. It works good for smaller power amps like this one. Don't get anything too powerful. I'll talk about that later. I already have it all hooked up and stuff. It's not too hard actually, but I guess some people just want an explanation on how to do it the right way. So, with the power supply, you can see there's yellow wires, and those are the 12-volt wires. Those are the ones you're going to use for the power on the amp. And then the black wires, which in DC is ground usually, and it is grounded this. So that's going to be what you use for ground on the amp. And then with remote, which is the little wire you usually hook up in your car to tell the amp to turn on, which is the middle terminal. With that, since you're not using a radio or receiver or deck, whatever the heck you want to call it, you're going to have to tell the amp to turn on right when you turn this on. You can do that by just putting a little wire between the power and the remote. So then the remote gets the 12-volt signal that it has to turn on. It doesn't really matter where it's coming from, so it works fine just connecting the two together. And the amp turns on. Another thing you're going to have to do, this to make the power supply turn on in the first place, is get the green wire, the black wire, which is on the motherboard connector, the big one. The green wire is the wire that tells the power supply the computer wants to be turned on, and if you don't cut it and ground it, the power supply will never actually turn on, even if you turn it on, because it's sensing the computer isn't even on, so it's not going to do anything. So you have to cut it and strip it and ground it, and then the power supply should turn on. If it doesn't, post a comment. I'm not super good with computer stuff, but I'm pretty good with electronics and stuff like that. So I'll show you that it's working. Where the heck is power switch at? There it is. So turned on. So you have all the yellow wires, which are the 12-volt, going to the power, and then from power to remote, you just use a little wire which tells the amp to turn on, and then all the black wires go to ground. I recommend using more than this one wire, just so you distribute the current over more wires, because these are really thin and don't want anything to happen. And one more thing, with these power supplies, you can't be using big amps or anything like that. It says, see if I can get to focus, kind of, at 12 volts, it's only putting out 15 amps, which isn't that much. That's only about 180 watts in theory, and probably more like 150 if you're lucky. So it's not very much power, and that's with tons and tons of voltage drop. So if you're just looking for a smaller amp like this to run like a little 8 or a 10, it should work good. I'd recommend getting a voltmeter to watch the voltage, make sure it's not dropping too low, because that can damage the amplifier, and it'll overheat faster and stuff. So I think that's about it. And if you want to have something higher power, I'd recommend staying away from buying car amps if you have something over probably 300 or 400 watts. If you need something bigger, that should be cheaper just to buy. Like a pro audio amp like this. It's a Crown. If anyone knows, if any of you guys know what company that is, it's made by Harman, which makes like Harman Kardon and JBL, all that stuff. They're pretty good. And it's a Crown XLS 1000. It has built-in crossover, stuff like that. You can bridge it at 4 ohms. It puts out 1100 watts RMS. So it works really good for subs. It has a fan in the back, but it never even runs, and you can barely hear it. You can buy cheaper, crappier amps like Pile. Don't buy anything from them. Spend the money and get something good. This was $300, but you can probably find them on sale at times on musician websites, stuff like that, places that sell pro audio for like $270. So it's a pretty good deal. So that should work better if you're going for anything higher powered. So don't go buy a 1,000 watt car amp for $200 and then you'll end up having to buy a $300 power supply just to make it work as good as this could. Because even the biggest computer power supplies don't put out enough for a big 1,000 watt amp or anything like that. So I recommend this only for smaller amps. It works good for this. But if you're going for something bigger like the 15 I have, I'd recommend just going the simple way, everything in one, don't have to do with power supplies, anything like that, by the Crown. I know there are some people that use batteries, but that's just risky and a lot of work having to charge it, and I think that's about it. If you guys have any more questions, just post them. Subscribe. I'm going to be making some videos soon of the 15, and I actually built a tower speaker. It did not turn out as good as I wanted it to. I didn't use the best woofers, and they're really, really boomy, and the mid 100s to low 200 hertz. So the highs are really good. I use a Dayton Audio tweeter, but it just didn't turn out as good as I wanted. So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with it. I only spent $100 making it, so it wasn't that much of a waste. But I wish it would have turned out better. So I think this is about it for this video. Like I said, subscribe. I think I'm going to be doing some more videos. Haven't made anything in a long time. Got to keep my views coming up. So see you guys later. Thanks for watching.